Very good evening. Welcome to Navy Sports Club here in Valisara. The match of the week. Havelock's taking on Navy Sports Club. First time they're traveling away from home. They played their home games up front early on in the season, and it was they're still coming in unbeaten into the third week, beating Police and Air Force in the first two. But Navy, unfortunately, going down against CRNFC last week after leading 23 points to 7 at half time. So that'll be shocking. Coach Motilal Jayatulaka would have had his video review, would have spoken to his boys before coming into their home game and home territory, where they will be much more dangerous. Here are the two captains, Gerta Pereira and Jason Melder, leading for Havelocks and Navy Sports Club. And we are coming to you live from Valisara. Joining me on the commentary box is Sabir Kader. Sabir, very good evening. Very important match for both teams.
Good evening, Dinuk. Yes, indeed. And good evening to all our viewers watching this live on www.thepapare.com. Like you mentioned, it was a disappointment second week fixture against CRNFC for the home team. After leading so comfortably in that half-time, Dinuk, but they can't take it into the complacent, especially for the men in pink today. Although despite winning the first two encounters comfortably, they have some great names. Also good to see Niroshan Fernando and Sandun Herat is back from injury. Although they played the previous game, they didn't make much an impact. So it's going to be a testing run here, because we know in the last 2 years or so, both these teams matches went up to the end. It was end-to-end stuff, action, running rugby we witnessed past 2 years.
Yeah, the conditions this evening, it's 31 Celsius, partly sunny, but much more better conditions underfoot. It's a very hard ground, this surface here in Valisara. Wind speed, it's going up to about 13 kilometers per hour, and humidity, that will be where these players will be tested. 67% humidity here at Valisara today, unlikely of what we have seen in the past 2 weeks, Sabir.
Oh yes, but that's not too bad, Dinuk, comparing to the past 2 weeks humidity. I'm sure as the game progress, there will be a little bit of breeze coming from one direction, but it might not really affect in the likes of when it comes to the kicking, in the likes of Reza Mubarak and Tilina Veerasinghe, who scored 18 points out of 23 points last week. On the other hand, Reza Mubarak also made almost all the kicks in his first game, but not so convincing with his boot in the second game. But it will all come into that center combination. They look Lai and Mushin Falil, and also for Havelock's Pereira's Nishon and Hiranta Pereira, they were outstanding, and I'm sure they all have done their mistakes.
Yeah, here's the team card for Navy. They've been warming up for about a good 45 minutes today. Kasum De Silva, Dulanjana Vijayasinghe, the key player, along with Lahiru Vishwajit in the front row. Ravin De Silva, Supun Pires in the second. Adisha Veeratunga, Danushka Pereira, the skipper, and Janit Laksara will play in the third. Harsha Maduranga and Afzal Mohammed at 9 and 10. And then we have the center combination that Sabir was talking about. Mushin Falil and Lahiru Erat at 12 and 13. Budima Priyaratna, Supun Dilshan, the wings, and Tilna Veerasinghe, the dangerous Tilna Veerasinghe for the opposition at fullback. And we have the replacements: Stefan Gregory, Deshan Vimukti, Amit Gunasinghe, Gavin Pereira, and Sali Handapangoda, the experience coming in at number 24 for Navy. And then we have Dinesh De Silva, Tanuja Malimbar, and Dinusha Fernando, another experienced player coming off the bench for Navy. And for Havelocks, we have the skipper Jason Melder, Prasad Madhushanka, and Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Mobile front row for Havelock Sports Club, Chamaka Bandar and Sharu Fernando in slotting in the second. Shanal Dilaka, Shanal Dias, and Lasindu Karunatilaka, the young science college boy at number 8. Sudham Suryarachi and Niroshan Fernando will be very key how they distribute the ball. Sudham will have his game on his hands, to how he controls his forwards and the backs. And then we have Hiranta Pereira and Nishan Pereira taking on Mushin Falil and Lahiru Herat against the Navy setup there. And Kevin Dixon and Sandun Herat have been dangerous this season, and Reza Mubarak had a up and down season so far. Dulaj Pereira, Rahul Del Petitra, Samin De Rodrigo, Madhushanka Pereira, Chamara Dabra, again experience of that bench. Azmir Fajuddin, Vimukti Rahul, and Dinu Kamarasinghe, the young St. Anthony's centre, will complete the Havelocks lineup. both look very solid on paper, Sabir, but how they handle the match pressure will be very important today.
Absolutely, indeed, and also the last quarter will be really interesting to see. That's where the win and lose come into a decisive moment. Also, then talking about Adisha Veeratunga, former Isipathal player, he was outstanding even in the last 2 games, and he is one to watch. Also, Shenal Dias for Havelock Sports Club, the man of the match in the game against Air Force. Those two in the lineouts will be a brutal contest.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see these matchups, and I also very interested on Dulanjana Vijay Singh and Dushmanta Priyadarshan in that front row. Though they are playing in 2 different positions, they will go head on, and they are very mobile as well. So it will be very interesting. A lot of players to look forward to. A lot of individual talent there. How they play as a team is key.
Yeah, look, both Dulanjana and Prasad Madhusankar, we saw them in the national colours. One is starting and one is in the bench. So they will play hard as they can because they want that place and they don't want to lose that national strip as well. Talking about these two, have scored plenty of tries last season, so as this season. They were their names on the team cards, try scoring list as well. Dulanjana also playing as a number 8 in their defensive formation, and he also showed some kicking ability. It will come to interesting stage at this play. Also their mobility, both Prasad Madhusankar and Dulanjana, also their accuracy in the line-out throw will play a key part.
Yeah, kicking was very good. I saw Riza Mubarak slotting in a couple of beautiful corner flag kicks during warm-up. Tilna Veerasinghe didn't practice much of the place kicks. The Navy team were entirely depending on a lot of field kicks, taking high balls, catching and passing. Those were the drills that were doing. They warmed up for almost 45 minutes, but there were a lot of kicking. You think they'll be using a kicking game and trying to put this back 3. We're very talented back 3. Riza Mubarak, Sandun Herat and Chamar Dabare. Do you think they will do that against Havelocks?
Yes, indeed, they will definitely do that. It'll be interesting how the back 3 will react for that. Talking about Tilna Veerasinghe, well, also Dabare, he has played for Navy Sports Club. He knows the condition in this game. And talking about Kevin Dixon, and we know how nippy he is when he gets the ball. If you give some space, he's becoming always a danger.
And also on the other hand, we have Buddhima Priyaratna, and along with Tilna Veerasinghe and Supun Dilshan, the 11, 14 and 15 for Havelocks. Joining me on the commentary, Paul Toya. Very good evening, Paul. Welcome to Navy Sports Club. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it?
Evening, Danuk. Yeah, it is a beautiful evening, and good evening, viewers. And as the pink and browns come out, the Havelock Sports Club, they come out onto the field. I'm just admiring Sabir's beautiful, clean England rugby top.
They'll be taking on the Wallabies. That's a very interesting game. It's a game that the Australians would have been looking forward to after going down 3-0 in the home series a couple of years ago. So yes, a lot of internationals. France taking on South Africa, All Blacks taking on Scotland at Murrayfield. That's at 10:45. That should be interesting as well. They have gone with the full strength team, the All Blacks again. So a lot of rugby to look forward to. Let's start off things here in Sri Lanka at Navy. Danushka Pereira leading the Navy team to the park. Paul, I have a question for you. They've been warming up this Navy team for about 45 minutes. Do you think it's a bit too much?
Well, look, the proof's in the pudding, really. Maybe last week they thought that they weren't mentally ready for the game, but I actually thought they played the first half pretty well. It was the second half that they didn't come up for, as they say, a little prayer. So, you know, that's one reason why you get teams out a little bit earlier. So I don't know if that's a mental thing. Maybe he thought that they just needed to get their hands ready and get used to the conditions. So we see Dulanjana Veerasinghe.
A very key player, Dulanjana Veerasinghe for Navy. He's a very mobile front row, big in size as well, but he's very mobile, isn't he?
Yeah, look, I saw him do a kick from his 22 last week as well. That was good. A little bit of Zinzan Brook going on there, isn't he?
So we're ready for kickoff. Referee in the middle today is Irshad Kader. And Navy will play from left to right on your screen. They will kick off with Tilina Veerasinghe putting in a nice hanging kick. And straight away it's a knock forward and an opportunity. In fact, it's a penalty for tackling in the air.
Oh,
So
that was the timing was pretty close. Thought he might have actually just got his hand onto the ball, but referee Carter doesn't agree. So let's see what the wind's like here for Reza Mubarak. Pretty straight kick. Gets what, 25 metres maybe? 20? Further up the paddock, so it's not a bad kick. Doesn't seem to be too much wind, was there?
yeah, we got the report from our crew, and it said 13 kilometers per hour wind, and so that's not much. But the humidity level of 67%, which will be tested. We are at 31 Celsius degrees as Havelocks go the first line out through Shehan Dias, and now they spin the ball out wide to Reza Mubarak. Dixon on the outside, pushes off Priyaratna, takes up and wins the contest on the near side against Buddhima Priyaratna. Here's Sudam Suryarachi, quick ball out. And now that's Sharu Fernando. That's a big contact there. He's Sudam once again. Hiranta Pereira, lovely pass to Kevin Dixon. He manages to hold on to the ball, but good covering tackle by Harsha Maduranga to push Dixon out. So a good start for Havelocks. They're from the just outside the 22. They're in the opposite 22. The Navy Sports Club just couldn't finish that move.
So Danuk, we see what 45 minutes worth of warm-up does. How's the contact from the Navy boys? It's big hits going in, so shoulders seem to be on, so they're ready to go. But it was a nice ball movement by Havelocks.
Here's Dulanjana Vijayasinghe. Nice throw and obstruction.
Gee, that's a pretty harsh call. It looked like there was a man engaged, and as soon as one player from Heavies is engaged, if we get to see the replay, no, we won't get to see the replay, but as soon as you see one player engaged from the opposition, then that means it's a maul. Looked like that might have been a maul. It was a great line out. Havelocks Heavies put a 4-jumper up, and it was just a little bit after 4. It was more to 5, wasn't it? That throw.
Yeah, the first line out throw, you throw it like that. It shows a lot of confuses the opposition. Here's Suryarachi now feeding the ball into the scrum, protected by Karunatilak at the back. Comes to Niroshan Fernando, flat pass into Nishan Pereira. Hiranta running in a dummy line there. Sudam needs to get this ball out quickly. Has Dushmanta Priyadarshan outside, gives it to the skipper. Jason Melda. Here's Hiranta putting in the kick behind. It's a knock forward by Priyaratna. So Hiranta Pereira trying to find some space at the back, but he didn't have the runners on the outside to chase that. But fortunately for him, it just bounced off Hiranta Pereira's, Buddhima Priyaratna's hand, like Shika Daman missed Tirimana's catch today early in the afternoon.
Yes, exactly. Well, I thought it was actually quite a good option. It looked like there was a little bit of space there. Just couldn't get thread that needle through the hole. But tell you what, both sides are looking good. The contact from Navy and the tackles are right on point.
Here's Sudam Suryarachi. Feeding the ball once again, protected at the back by Lasindu. Karunatilaka. Sudam now gives it to Niroshan Fernando once again, trying to use that runner in Hiranta Pereira. Was a bit more close this time, couldn't get the pass away. Now the ball comes out for Havelocks. Lovely hands through Sharu Fernando. Here's Sudam. Has Sandun Herat on the outside. It's Kevin Dixon who will score the first try. In fact, it's a penalty. Pushed out into touch. So it was a very close call. And Carter will want to have a chat with referee Rohan Fernando.
I'll tell you what, Danuk, I'm loving the way these guys are playing. A yellow card brandishes there for... I'm not sure what that was for. It was something in the ruck beforehand. Maybe he was trying to slow the ball down and he thought it was a little bit of a professional foul. It's just slowing the ball down. But the ball movement from Havelock Sports Club is superb. It's great rugby at the moment. There's excellent defence, excellent attack. It's from one side to the other side. The ball movement's perfect. The ball clearance from the Havelock's number 9 then was what set them away there and gave the backline a little bit of space. And then they got over the advantage line and they almost got it all the way out the outside.
Yeah, Havelock's a gutsy call this time, not going for 3 points, going into the line out. Yes, they should, because they've been very good so far in these first few minutes. This time the line out botched, and it's been a knock forward there by Havelocks. Navy will have the opportunity to clear their grounds and move out of this. They've been spending a bit too much time inside their 22, and the ball is knocked forward once again. Here's Dushmant Priyadarshana, who knocks the ball forward. Oh, he's disappointed. He's banging on the ground. That was try for all money there.
Well, yeah, it was. It reminded me of a certain CH player yesterday, just that close to the line as well, that managed to knock on too. But the contact was immense right on the try line. But see, Navy just tried to run the ball out one more ruck, and they got caught with the ball, and it just slipped out. I'm not sure who took the ball into contact. It was well done by Havies. So their urgency is excellent at the moment.
Yes, 6 minutes on the clock. Havelocks have parked themselves inside the opposition 22, as Sudam Suryarachi will have another opportunity. Will he go right or left? Will be interesting to see. This time they're trying to win a penalty through the scrum. Yes, they have got the advantage. Lasindu Karunatilaka playing at the back now. Offloads it to Suryarachi. Suryarachi takes the ball into contact. Just on the 5-meter mark for Havelocks. Niroshan Fernando comes in to act as the scrum half, and he will give this ball out to the blind side through Shenal Dilaka. Here is Suryarachi.
Jason Mulder's looking menacing there, isn't he? Oh, how's that defence?
That was just a stop-start, so no momentum there going into contact. Dushmanta Priyadarshana once again taking the ball into contact. Now Havelocks trying to play this very close, but the Navy defense is up for it, pushing them every time. Here is Sudam Suryarachi. Calls for his skipper Jason Melda. This time gets about a couple of inches going forward. That'll be a penalty for Havelock Sports Club. So 3 penalties on the trot for the Havies.
Tenacious defence there. I'm surprised Havies are just pounding away here, because every time they've moved the ball to the edges, there's space on the outside. So maybe just moving it away from the ruck, maybe 2 passes might be the answer here for Havies. But they've decided they're going to take a scrum. So Dilshan, that's the 2nd yellow card that he's picked up in 3 weeks. So
he's not going to get any points this time on your man of the match segment, Paul.
No, that's right. But our stats man, he's on point over there. He's getting us everything we need to know, and we're passing that straight on to you, viewers. So here we see is a great opportunity on the blind side. They can go an 8-9 move. It's really difficult to defend here.
And once again, they're pushing the scrum forward. Havelocks now. Lasindu Karunatilaka takes it close. Tries to move forward once again. Now he's held up this time. Brought to ground eventually. And the ball is still in play. Very scrappy. Havelocks taking the ball into contact. Twisting and turning. Very close to the try line. Here's Jason Melda. Putting his shoulder behind once again. Very powerful tackle there by Navy. Shenal Dilaka, has he gone over the line? Yes, he has scored the first try for Havelocks. Shenal Dilaka, the former Isipatana skipper, scoring that try for Havelocks. So after so much time spent in the opposition 22, finally they get the reward of 5 points.
Yeah, look, they have, and this is what they've done the last 2 games as well, Havelock Sports Club. They've come and they've tried to have 4 dominance in the first 15, 20 minutes. They've tried that again, and even though they're finding gaps on the outside and on the edges, they've decided to try and get over the top of the forwards of Navy in the first 15 minutes. And I don't know if that's such a good move, because that's taking Navy on right at their strength. But look, they're up by 5 points at the moment. If they continue to do this and they continue to get over them, then it'll work for sure. But you know, it's sort of like waving a red rag at a bull. You know, Navy's going to come back out.
Yeah, I think it might be a tactic also. Just get more physical, drop the Navy heads down initially, and then they have this threatening backs to run around. They will just open the floodgates at the 60th minute if they can, and then it's going to be a try fest in that case. But Navy, as you said, will come back strong. And the kick is good. Riza Mubarak is back.
And you'll notice last week he had the yellow boots on. This week he's got the orange boots on. So they're the kicking boots. The other ones are not for kicking, they're for dancing, I think.
He's not going to use that yellow boots again, isn't it?
So that's a good start for Havelocks. The Havies, they've come out of the blocks here. So let's see what Navy have got.
Tilna Veerasinghe will restart proceedings once again. Puts in a deep kick this time. Straight into the sun, knocking the ball forward is Vimukti. Rather, it's Chanak Bandara. Now taking the ball into contact, ripped away by Niroshan Fernando. It's a knock forward. Call coming from the far side, assistant referee. Yeah, straight up, he looked up there, Bandara. Chanak Bandara, and just saw the sun right on his face, couldn't gauge the ball and dropped it forward.
Yeah, I thought that might have come off his shoulder, but it's not. It'll be nice to see Navy have the ball. That was the first time they've had the ball in their hands. They've just done a lot of defending, so if they can come back with a counter punch, we might see a high-scoring match.
Yeah, Harsha Maduranga will feed the ball into the scrum for Navy. Taken at the back. Now the ball comes out to Tilna Veerasinghe. Right into contact goes Tilna Veerasinghe. Here's Maduranga once again. Gives it to Mohammad Afzal. Ball comes down to the near side once again through Lahiru Hera, trying to take the ball into contact. And Nishan and Niroshan driving him back. Here's Afzal now trying to swing this pass on the outside to Dushmanta Dulanjana Vijay-Singhe, who cuts back in and gives the ball. Maduranga once again. Taking the ball into contact. Good powerful run there by prop forward Lahiru Vishwajit. Here is an inside pass to Mushin Falil. Taking the ball just closer to the 22. Maduranga once again looking for options. Here's Vijay-Singhe with him. Here is Afzal. Trying to swing the ball wide. Priyadarshana gives it to Tilna Veerasinghe. Veerasinghe steps off one. Inside the 22. The Sailors go. Maduranga once again. A lot of patience shown here by Navy. Taking the ball into contact is Dulanjana Vijay-Singhe. Penalty advantage coming up for Navy. This time going through Ravin De Silva. An offload once again. A lovely offload this time to Lahiru Hera. Or rather it's Mushin Falil who scored that try. But referee Carter will have a chat with his assistant before he awards it. And he awards the try, the first one for Navy Sports Club.
So there you go. That's exactly what I was saying. When they have ball in hand as well. So they've got a couple of players here that that actually challenge the line every time they get the ball. So Navy have the Dulanjana. Every time he gets the ball, he seems to go forward. And also their winger, Pieratne. He also, when he gets the ball, he just takes his first two steps are electric. And so he really challenges the line. And that time, both of them had the ball in that phase of play. And as soon as they challenge the line, they seem to draw an extra defender in. And that opens up space for someone else. So, look, it's, as I said, I think it might be a high-scoring match because Navy are right up for this as well. So some excellent forward charges as well, straight through the middle. But also they seem to be moving the ball out wide well too. So let's see who can outscore each other.
Yeah, they're trusting a process as the kicks lost in between the two posts.
It's a nice kick there from Tilindaz. It was a little bit wobbly. It didn't look as nice as, Samuel Maduanka's kicks yesterday for CH or even Riza Mubarak's earlier one, but it still went through the posts. So 7-all. As the ThePapare band starts up just below us, you can probably hear. It's a real carnival atmosphere here.
Here's the restart once again, straight into Buddhima Priyaratna, breaks off one tackle, steps off another Priyaratna. Now he needs to go into contact, Buddhima Priyaratna. Maduranga giving it to Tilna Veerasinghe, takes a bit of time because it was taken back inside the 22. Challenged in the air, Motion Falil knocking the ball forward, Ravin De Silva booting it, but it was knocked forward before that. Thank you, Shabi Kada, moving the ThePapare band away from us, and nice to see sailors listening to us and moving away.
What a great kick. So contestable, wasn't it? You know, that's the difference between any young rugby players. That's the difference between a contestable kick and a non-contestable kick. We saw a lot of kicks yesterday, actually, and, from CR, where they were just seemed to be kicking the ball an extra 20 metres too far. That one was right on the money. About 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, 25 metres. That's close enough for everyone to get up and put some real pressure on.
Yeah, Tilna Veerasinghe took his time, isn't he? He judged where the kick wanted to go, took his time, and then put the bomb. As Sudam Suryaraj will feed this ball into the scrum. An opportunity for Havelocks. Waits for some time. Not a good pass to Niroshan. A lovely pass this time right in front of Nishan, and Nishan drops the ball. He had 2-on-1. Here's a great opportunity for Navy Sports Club. Going in through Falil. Here's Maduranga now. Lovely skip pass. Oh, beautiful hands through Ravin De Silva. And this is Supun Peris. Peris takes the ball inside the 22 for Navy. Here's Maduranga now. Gives it to Dulanjana. Vijay Singh bumps off couple of players. Inches close to the try line now. Navy Sports Club. Here's Maduranga once again. Gives it to Mohammad Afzal. Good tackle on Ravin De Silva by Riza Mubarak. Maduranga once again off to Mohammad Afzal, who swings this out wide to Buddhima Priyaratna. Priyaratna trying to step and run outside. Maduranga once again has Afzal to Supun Piris, who made that dashing run early on. Taking the ball into contact is Kasum De Silva this time for Navy. Maduranga want his forwards very close to him. Adisha Veeratunga taking the ball into contact is a penalty and should be.
Now, I'd like to see a little bit of consistency here because we saw a penalty given away on the other side of the field and a player went to the bin for the same type of infringement. You know, Navy were right on there. But what I liked about that Navy attack was their recognition of space. They saw that they needed to have a skip pass there, and then they saw there was a half hole, player drew and passed, and then just put the extra player away. I think it was Pettis that actually went right instead of going straight ahead. There were players on the inside. If he'd gone straight ahead, he would have taken the covering defender from the right and been able to put the player on the inside away. But what an excellent attack there by Navy.
So after that initial 6 minutes of, I call a good start for Havelocks, it's been all Navy in the next 12 minutes. They have got the ball and now they're settling into their process. They're using their forwards in the middle, using their backs on the outer channels, and some game plan I think they have thought of, and now it seems to be working slowly to them, and they're looking to get more points and put Havelocks under pressure as the kick goes through and they take the lead for the first time, coming back from 7-0 to 10-7 now, Paul.
Yeah, they are back 10-7. But I think what we've seen here is that both teams are attacking so well. Although both teams are defending well as well, their attack so potent that whoever has possession here, I think, is the key. So anyone starts kicking the ball away needlessly or turning over possession, I think that'll be turning points in this game, because when Havies have had the ball, they've gone forward and they've looked really dangerous. When Navy has the ball, they go forward and they look really dangerous too. So, you know, if I was in the coach's box, I'd be saying, let's just hold on to the ball, boys. Be patient. If you don't throw any miracle passes, as Reza, that's a beautiful kick up into a contestable area.
Nicely taken by Adisha Veeratunga. Tackle made by Lasindu Karunatilaka. Adisha still on the ground. That's not a good sign for Navy. This time Tilna Veerasinghe taken back inside the 22. Straight to Kevin Dixon. Dixon will put it in the high kick. He needs to chase this down. Ravin De Silva under it. And a knock forward. Referee playing advantage for Havelocks. Here is Niroshan Fernando. Has Shanaka Bandara in the middle. Ball going out from Sharo Fernando to Nishan Pereira on the outside, who fends off a couple of players, twists and turns to bring the ball back inside. And the big prop forward, Shanaka Bandara, the lock rather for Havelocks going into contact. Here's Niroshan Fernando once again. Riza Mubarak spots the space at the back, and a lovely weighted kick by Riza Mubarak, getting the ball inside the 22.
What a great recognition of space. Such a classy player. You know, he's the only player that I reckon all season he'll come back with a clean jersey every single game. But see how much space and time he seems to have it. He got the ball, he looked outside, he saw huge amounts of space, and although the possession's been turned over, they've made great territorial ground. So, you know, it's an excellent kick.
Technical and tactical analysis of the Dialog League 2017-2018. Back to the board with Sabi Carter, who is in our crew today. And join us midweek with him. He will take you through all these analysis that some of things that we might miss during a game. So join Sabir Carter for Back to the Board segment. So Tarim Ratwat joined us on Back to the Board last week. It looks like Sabir Carter is having a discussion with Lee Hegel to get him on board this time. So
well, I'd have to say those two are two of the most on-form players in the competition at the moment. It'd be great to see that chat with Lee Kegel.
Very interesting line out for Havelocks, going in with a 5-man line out. Have Sharo Fernando and Shanaka Bandara as the first and second receiver. As Dulanjana Vijayasinghe, superb line out throw once again to Tilna Veerasinghe. Puts in a high kick. Right underneath is Kevin Dixon. They have about 3 players who can run fast. Here is Sandhu Nera. That's one of them who is taking the ball into contact. Sudam. At pace goes Kevin Dixon, but he was not expecting the pass. He leaves the ball behind. Here's an opportunity for Navy. And kicked into touch under full. And it was an initial knock forward by Kevin Dixon that will give a scrum for Navy Sports Club.
You can see all the budding referee's assistants there on the side of the ground, all giving advice. A couple of All Blacks there, and a South African. Hopefully that wasn't for the late tackle, because there wasn't a late tackle when the kick went out anyway. But anyway, here we have it. Maybe 40 metres out on an angle, maybe 46 metres. It's going to have a shot at goal. No.
Yeah, within his range though, Tilna Veerasinghe's. But I think they want to put a bit more pressure on Havelocks. Get another try here. It'll be very interesting. But the key thing is for Navy to get a bigger lead as possible, because they know how they faded away last week, and they cannot do that again here today.
Oh, look, I'm sure the halftime talk this week will be reminding the boys of how they faded last week. But the throwing from the Navy hooker has been excellent today. He's hit 6 twice, and they're straight on the money.
Here's Navy. Here's Dulanjana at the back now. He breaks away. He has a lot of power. Can he go all the way? Looks like he has. Held up though. Good defending there by Havelocks. Let's see who that player is. Was right under that ball. I think it was Sudam Suryarachi, the scrum half, along with Lasindu Karuna Tilaka, the 9 and 8 and 9 that worked to hold up Dulanjana Vijayasinghe. And as you said, Paul, I don't want to jinx it, but his line-out throws have been fantastic today, isn't it? Like a bullet, it just goes off his hand straight into the 6th spot. No 2-4-6, as the coach would ask for at any time. He came into the game straight away, 6-6-6.
the number of the beast, 666. But yeah, he's been doing well, and he's let's hope he can keep it up.
Maduranga. Harsha Maduranga will feed this ball into the scrum. Taken at the back. Now ball comes down to Mushin Falil. Taking it very closely, Mushin Falil. Going to the short side once again. Through Dulanjana Vijay Singha. Trying to pick and drive. Navy. Very close to the try line now. Now Maduranga wants the ball, gives it to the number 8, Janit Laksar, taking the ball into contact. Trying another pick and drive, very close to the try line now, Havelock's Navy Sports Club. And this time they have scored. Lahiru Vishwadit scoring that try for Navy Sports Club. So after that initial burst from Havelocks, Navy have hit back thrice and 2 tries and a penalty with the conversion to come.
Yeah, it's plain sailing, isn't it, for the Sailors at the moment. They weren't going to do anything else, the forwards, with the ball that time. It was only just going to go from forward to forward, from ruck to ruck, and it was a game of inches there. They just kept on pounding away at the try line.
Easy as it gets for Tilna Vijay Singha, just one step right next to the ball, the left step, and the swinging right foot puts that ball in between the posts and up the crossbar it goes. And Havelock Sports Club will move into 17 points to 10, 17 points to 7. That's a good cushion to have.
Yeah, look, Navy are looking really good at the moment. Let's see if they can keep this up. It's all about concentration, and their motivation seems to be right on at the moment. And it's such an accurate game, Danuk. There haven't been many mistakes. There haven't been many handling errors. It's mainly been from kicks that the balls have been knocked on. Otherwise, it's been really accurate play from both teams.
Riza Mubarak this time puts it nice and clean inside the 22. Buddhima Priyaratna slipping this time. Maduranga has Abzal with him. He goes to Mohammad Abzal. Taken back inside the 22, was it? I think, yes, it was taken back inside the 22.
So that's probably the first big mistake that Navy have made, and that's almost like a schoolboy error, wasn't it? He was under so much pressure. Probably a different exit strategy might have been the way there. They were so close to the sideline that they didn't really have enough angle. Maybe a long pass into the centre might have been the way to go, and just take up another 5-10 metres and just get a better angle and a better kick and land.
Yeah, it was still Navira Singha who was doing all the clearance so far, and it was Abzal this time. So they need to get that right. It's a crooked throw by Havelocks. So an opportunity missed for them.
I love the expressions of hookers when they throw the ball in and someone says, "Oh, it wasn't straight." It's an unbelieving look, isn't it? Really.
Ball fed into the scrum. This number 7. It was not binding, says the referee. Shehan Dias that was.
Yeah, look, I'd be a little bit worried if I had a look at the Navy scrum and it's going to start folding a little bit like that. You need a solid platform inside your own 22 when you're putting the ball into the scrum. Didn't look like their exit plan was much chop. They Had 4 players standing back in kicking distance. So what that means is they're definitely going to kick because... Oh, not the greatest kick, but it seems to get the result they needed. So they had 4 players standing back maybe 10, 12 metres back from the scrum. You only have to stand back 5 metres. So if you're an option to run, you'd stand up 5 metres back from the scrum and you take the ball going close, so you're going to get over the advantage line. So what that tells me is that if everyone's back, no one's going to run, everyone's going to kick, so they can drop players back in defence, and it sort of telegraphs what you're going to do. So Navy want to try and fix that up before the next game.
Here's Dulanjana once again. This time the ball comes off. Knocked forward.
Dulanjana just showing he's human. So he faded that one to the left. Hooked it. Gives us an opportunity to have a good close look at the scrum though.
Very clear Irshad Kader as Sudam Suryarachi now gives it to Niroshan Fernando. He diffuses the bomb this time right into Tilna Veerasinghe, was charging that and lost the ball in the sun once again. It's another knock forward. Buddhima Priyaratna up against Sharu Fernando.
That's a little bit of bromance. That's all that was. A little cuddle. I tell you what, there's feeling out there, but there's no ill feeling. Both teams going at it hard, but there's a lot of goodwill.
Niroshan Fernando, a couple of times off the scrum, he was a bit too flat and couldn't get that first pass to Hiranta Pereira. This time.
So this set up, they've got 4 on the left-hand side, Havelock Sports Club, and 2 on the open side. And I think it looks set up to go the open side. 8-9 move, 15. It's a classic move. Difficult to defend. Funny pass.
Here's Nishan running into contact, but very flat. No one running onto that ball. Now Niroshan Fernando giving it out wide to Shanaka Bandara, taking the ball into contact. Here is Sharu Fernando. Shows it to Jason Meld and takes the ball into contact. Sharu Fernando. Sudam once again off to Lasindu Karunatilaka. Niroshan Fernando. Sandun Herat. Lovely hands. Herat going through, taking about 3 plays to bring him out. Down inside the 22. They go. Here's Sudam Suryarachi once again. Sudam to the skipper. Jason Melder. Very lazy there. Very lazy. Hands of Jason Melder. Now he has an opportunity for Navy taking the ball into contact. He is Mushin Falil. Inside the 22. Just outside the 22. Now they come. Navy. They have to be very careful if they have to kick this out this time. Tilna Veerasinghe is much more experienced. He puts it right behind. Pedaling back is Sudam Suryarachi. Has a good scrum off. Should be. Here is Riza Mubarak. Looked up. No space at the back. Kevin Dixon puts the foot on the accelerator. Steps off one. Rounds around another. Has Dulanjan. Huge hit on him. Yes, Tilna Veerasinghe now kicking the ball behind. Riza Mubarak has Niroshan Fernando who puts the kick behind once again. A lot of pace. Yes, Dulanjana Vijay Singh now. He will run straight into contact. Gives it out wide. Stepping and running through is Lahiru Herat. Now Mohammad Afzal off to Buddhima Priyaratna. Referee playing advantage for Navy Sports Club. Players need to come back fast. Afzal gives it out wide, taking the ball into contact is Adisha Veeratunga. Afzal acting as the scrum half.
I think the referee saw something back here in the ruck on the side, maybe not rolling away quick enough. But how about that tackle on Kevin Dixon? Really close to us. You could feel it up here.
That was big contact, isn't it? Kevin Dixon just ran around everyone and then he saw a huge wall right in front of him in place in the name of Dulanjana Vijay Singh. Couldn't help it. He was a bit too close And right in front of him, just smacked him back. Buddhima Priyaratna taking the touch kicks. Not sure why Tilna Veerasinghe is not opting for those. Sabir Khada gives information, say that he has a longer range than Tilna Veerasinghe. But not the first time that he did, Buddhima Priyaratna. This time he needs to get it right, the contact right, and he gets it right inside the 22. On just outside the 22 meter mark.
So he just wanted to come in and show off his banana kick.
He's Rulanjana Vijayasinghe just having a word with Mohammad Afzal, the fly half. Mushin Khalil will be at the first receiver. Once again, a lovely throw right at the back. And not engaging. A very good move this time by the Navy number 8, Janit Laksara. Straight away turned and ran forward. And another try for Navy Sports Club. And that is Supun Piris, who did all the hard work in the initial part of the game, and he gets rewarded for all those hard work. Supun Piris scoring that try, just goes and puts a high five on one of his supporters there, and he's very happy, a happy man, Supun Piris.
Supun Piris, he got over the try line, but whoever went up and caught the ball, I didn't see them catch the number of the jumper, but he's the one that was his decision making that made that try, because he came down, Havies didn't engage. So this is where you get egg on. There's a possibility of getting egg on your face, because if you don't engage and they don't put the ball back and they don't fall for the trap, then that's exactly what happens. And they marched maybe 10 metres forward, and that's as soon as they got straight through that line out, that's where the try was scored, I thought.
Yeah, straight away, walking straight to Irshad Khada, shook his hand and apologized to Supun Piris, because as he scored that try, he fended off Irshad Khada there on the try line. So that's very nice to see from a player, just coming and apologizing. But he's very happy, he's delighted with that try. But I think he deserves for all the hard work. He set up a couple of tries before. And he's a workhorse at that number 5 jersey, isn't it, Supun Piris?
The kick wasn't successful, so Navy 3 tries to 1 now. They're really dominating this match, and at the moment they're looking pretty good. Their scrum's not as solid as I'd like, and their exits aren't quite as crisp as you'd like, but they certainly know the way to the try line.
Here's Dulanjana once again, stepping off 2, showing a bit of skill there. And here's the try scorer, Piris taking the ball into contact. Under 40 meter mark, Mohammad Afzal swinging this ball out wide, need to get his passes right. And Janit Laksara giving it outside to Buddhima Priyaratna. That was a high shot. Referee playing advantage for Navy Sports Club. It'll be a penalty and a yellow card, which it looks like. The card is coming up. Sharo Fernando. Second yellow card in 3 games for him as well. Sharo Fernando kicking the water bottle box away on the outside for him. Very disappointed.
He plays a great villain, doesn't he? Well, that's exciting. I'm just seeing the bagpipes line up, ready for half-time. Can't wait to see that, but I can't wait to see what Navy's going to do with this line out. It should be 20, maybe 40 metres out from the Havelock's try line with just minutes to go left. See how the kick goes. Is it going to go out? What a magic kick. That's inside the 22. Time sticking out on the half. Navy have got their tails high in the end. 3 tries to 1. Havelock Sports Club need to hold them out here just before half time. The championship 10 minutes.
Yeah, it could be the championship 10 minutes for Havelock Sports Club. They looked very good in that opening 2 seasons, and travelling to Valisara for the first time, they're put under a lot of pressure here. Inside the 22 they go now, Navy. They will use their forwards to good effect. They have about 2 minutes on the clock before half time, so they will. Right on top of that ball is, looks like it's Jason Melder. But he needs to release. The ball comes out for Navy. Luckily for Havelocks, now it's a great opportunity for them. Hiranta Pereira putting the kick behind. The chase is on, bounces off into touch. But a pass would have been a good option for Havelocks because they had a lot of players on the outside.
They do have great spread across the field. They're playing a really wide 2-4-2 system, which means that their players are always out wide, and it's nice to see if they've got hands, but Navy just lost an opportunity there. But every set piece is an opportunity to strike from, so here they go again. And as we've said earlier, both of these teams are dangerous with the ball in hand, so anything can happen. A six-man line-out. Driving line-out, do you think?
I think they'll go to the centre field. Dulanjana, yes, it comes back to Moshin Falil. And the centres combining that first receiver to Lahiru Herat. Here's Maduranga now to Adisha Veeratunga taking the ball into contact. Good driving tackle there by Dushmanta Priyadarshana off his feet. Another penalty against Havelocks. And Tilna Veerasinghe this time will take the shot at goal just outside the 40.
Well, time's dictating that they're going to have a shot at goal instead of going for the sideline. But
this is where they were exactly, isn't it? 23 points to 7, 22 points to 7 this week. This was last week. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go on the clock. Tilna Veerasinghe. I think Havelocks have been tested for the first time in this season. A real test, a real quality opposition, and an away game. Not what they're used to playing under lights. So they've been really tested, and a big test against Navy. And their defense have opened up. Their attack looks solid in that first 10 minutes, but from there on they're broken apart. So it's going to be a very big second half coming up as Tilna Veerasinghe lines this long range kick outside the 40 meter. Has a good connection, but the direction is not that good off the right post. It goes into in-goal area, so that will be half time. 22 points to 7 that the score remains. And so Paul, after that initial breakaway by Havelocks, it has been all Navy in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, it has been. 3 tries to 1 states that as a fact, but what we've seen is the team with possession, as we've been saying in this game. The team with possession, as the score comes up, the team with possession has really dominated the game as Navy go to the break at 22 points to 7.
Yeah, as the Navy band prepares to entertain us at half time here in Valisara, 22 points to 7. See you after the turnaround.
How did I get the passion of rugby? I think it might have been in my DNA before I was born. But I do remember waking up as a young child, maybe 5 years old, and watching All Blacks games on TV when they toured Europe. They were in the old days where they'd tour and there'd be maybe 15 or 16 games into the tour. I'd try and get up and watch every single game, and I just remember the sound. It was an old black and white TV, and the sound as they were playing, you could hear the noise and it'd go round and round the stadium. It was sort of like a sort of a noise like that, and it was just magical. And so I think that's where I got the passion.
Technique, tactics, attack, defense, pattern. Back to the board, the rugby analysis.
ThePapare.com කරපු සංකල්පය ලංකාවේ ක්‍රීඩක ක්‍රීඩිකාවන්ට ඉතාම ධෛර්යයක්. ඔවුන්ගේ අදහස් ක්‍රීඩා තොරතුරු ඊට අමතරව ශ්‍රී ලංකිකෙක් වශයෙන් මට ආඩම්බර විය හැකි මේ අලුත් සංකල්ප ක්‍රීඩා ලෝකයට ගෙනීම ගැන මම ඇත්තටම papare.com එකට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
So the most unforgettable rugby experience I had is probably a game when I was playing in the south of France. And we were playing a team where we'd never beaten them before in the history of the club. And we'd just scored some points and we were leading by 1 point. There was a minute to go. They were kicking off to us. The ball flew high in the air and went into the backfield. Our winger, instead of catching the ball, fly kicked the ball directly off the kick, straight into a prop who was standing in front of him, and hit him in the back of the head. The referee called a penalty for player in front. The guy kicked the ball over. It was the end of the game. I still can't believe the look on the crowd's faces when that game finished, and that's probably the most unforgettable moment in rugby that I've ever had.
ස්පෝට්ස් වලට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැමතිද?
අනිවාර්යෙන්.
ඔව්.
නෑ හොඳටම අඩුයි.
Yeah, of course. අඩුයි. ඔව්. කදාසම ස්පෝට් එක.
ෆුට්බෝල්.
ක්‍රිකට්.
බාස්කට්බෝල්. අපේ UFC වගේ දේවල් නම් සවන බැලනවා.
ෆන් ඇන් රැලි විතරයි.
කැමතිම ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් ඉන්නවද කියලා?
අරවින්ද ඩි සිල්වා, අර්ජුන රණතුංග,
සංගක්කාර.
ඒ සරත් ජයසූරිය 96 ටීම් එකම හොඳයි.
My considered opinion of rugby in Sri Lanka is that there's a lot of passion here. That's easy to see by the way the players play, but also about the crowd, by the crowds that come and watch the games. The way it can improve, I think, is if the players and the coaches concentrate more on the skill acquisition and the detail of the skills. I think mainly in Sri Lanka they concentrate on just the actual process of making a tackle instead of the fine detail of making that tackle right. And it's the same with passing the ball or kicking. If they can concentrate more on the small details, I think there'll be huge advancement here.
Amount of cricket fans out there, they look at things in so much detail. They demand detail much more than we have a video analyst for us. These guys want even more detail when it comes to reading about the game and understanding. So I think the ThePapare.com provides all of that beautifully. So congratulations and well done to the ThePapare.com, because for people like me and for millions of other cricket fans around the world.
සමහර විශ්ලේෂණයන් තියෙනවා ඒවා සමහර ලාවට හරියන්නත් පුළුවන් වරදින්නත් පුළුවන් කෝසල.
ක්‍රිකට් කියන්නේ අවිනිශ්චිත ක්‍රීඩාවක් ධනුෂ්කයා. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද සිදුවන්නේ කියලා. ගොඩක් දේ කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් පිටියෙන් පිටත. නමුත් සියල්ල සිදුවන්නේ පිටිය තුලදී.
පිටියේ ඈත මෑත කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, පිටියේ ඇතුලේ කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ක්‍රිකට් විශ්ලේෂණාත්මකව ඔබට සම කරන්නට අපි සූදානම්ින් ඉන්නවා පිටියේ කතා තුලින්. රැඳෙන්න අපිත් එක්ක ThePapare.com ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ක්‍රීඩා වෙබ් අඩවිය සමග.
break down end-to-end Sri Lankan rugby.
Fitness Diaries, in a mission to uplift the fitness arena in Sri Lanka.
ඔබේ තරගයන් සියල්ලම අපි ගාව හොඳ කලෙක්ෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා ඡායාරූප පවා බොහොම හොඳ දේවල් මම හිතන්නේ ඔබත් සමහරවිට දකින්නේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ දේවල් පපරේ හරහා තමයි ඔබ යම්කිසි අදහසක් ඒකට එකතු කරන්න පුළුවන්.
ඇත්තටම මම හිතන්නේ ලොකු සේවයක් කරන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් ඒ වගේම අනිත් හැම ක්‍රීඩා තරගාවලියකට මම හිතන්නේ මම දකින හැම වෙලේම ක්‍රිකට් විතරක් නෙමෙයි හැම දෙයක්ම කවර් වෙනවා මේ papare.com එකෙන්. ඒ වගේම ක්ලබ් මැච් එකක් පවා අපි සාමාන්‍ය හැම ප්ලේ කෙනෙක් මාසේ තමන්ගේ ෆොටෝ එකක් මැච් එක සෙල්ලම් කරන එකක් ලබා ගන්න. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ලොකු සේවයක් වෙන්නේ ඒ වගේ ඒ කොහේ තිබ්බත් මැච් එකක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඇවිල්ලා හැම මැච් එකකටම වගේ ෆොටෝ එකක් හෝ අනිවාර්යෙන් තිබෙනවා. ඉතින් මම සුබ පතනවා papare.com එකට මේ සේවය දිගටම කරගෙන යන්න කියලා.
Welcome back to the second half action live from Valisura. Navy taking on Havelock Sports Club. 22 points to 7 at half time. They went into the lead, and a similar situation that we did, but this time it's at Valisura. Welcome back to all our viewers watching this Dialog Interclub Rugby League Tournament 2017-2018. Second half kickoff. Riza Mubarak puts in a decent kick, a lot of weight, hang time there for the receiver. But very well taken by the Navy forward. The ball will be taken back inside the 22 to Tilna Veerasinghe. This time juggling a bit. Comes outside the 22 and puts a beautiful kick. And taken back inside the 22 once again. And the pass is made. Riza Mubarak spots space at the back. But it's Supun Dilshan makes the call to stay behind and collecting it. Steps off one, steps off two, runs into contact. Right on top on that ball is Kevin Dixon.
Well done, a good little clean out there by the Navy team as they try and identify some more space out wide. It's just gone out on the full. That one just drifted a little bit wide. I didn't think there was space out there. But, well done by the fullback from Navy, wasn't it? A lot of pressure was put on him, and Tilna he just mishandled that a little bit. He wasn't able to get it straight onto his boot, so he just took a step inside, then accelerated through the gap and put a good kick in, and Kevin Dixon couldn't handle it. And so now we see a line out Coming in 5 metres inside the heavies halfway.
ThePapare this time putting the kick behind Tilna Veerasinghe outside the 22. Just kicks it back to Sudam Suryarachi, who's at the back. Gives it to Dixon. Dixon once again kicking and chasing. Here's danger time. Dulanjana Veerasinghe picks it and he kicks it again. There is no one at the back. Riza Mubarak will have to run to collect that ball, and Riza says enough is enough, I'll put this ball into touch. Let's restart play.
So there's the multi-talented Dulanjana again, fielding the high ball, going back, and that's where we were saying earlier in the broadcast that he plays 8 as a defender, so goes back and covers space as well. So in the backfield you'll see the 2 wingers cover space, the fullback covers space, and so does the number 8 when it becomes a kicking duel, and also the 9 also covers in the space just behind the line.
So knock forward taken by Havelock's Sports Club this time, just to wide that throw from Dulanjana. Good pass by Niroshan to Nishon. Here's Riza, lovely catch and pass, but Sandun Herath knock forward there, collecting the ball, but referee letting it go. Here's Lasindu Karunatilaka taking the ball into contact, gains some good meters there. Karunatilaka. Melda, start once again. Melda, Niroshan Fernando this time, put on a lot of pressure. Ball popping off to Jason Melda. He goes back to collects it, but Jason Melda looks for me is not in his match mood today. He is very slow, standing start, looking a bit lethargic, not going into those hits.
Oh, look, he went into a few hits early on, and we found a welcoming committee every time we take the ball up, and I think he's just a little bit wary maybe. I saw him sort of getting back at the end of the first half, and he looked like he had some sort of little bit of a limp, or he wasn't looking 100%. Tight. Jason Melda, tight head prop today. Most, my forwards coach when I was growing up, he said tight head props, probably the most important position in rugby. Second most important position is the reserve tight head prop.
Maduranga feeds the ball at the back, taken back and a lovely 8-9 move, but looks like it's an obstruction.
It was an obstruction there, but I liked what they did there. They attacked the advantage line, and they were up really flat, and if they attack it with speed, they can try and get over that advantage line really quickly. They just messed that up, but I saw in the first half they attacked from a similar position, from a scrum, and they actually passed it too far back, and they got caught behind the advantage line. So they haven't quite worked out how to attack from scrum time yet, Navy Sports Club.
It's a very different body language if you see between the backs and the forwards here for Havelocks. Backs want to play this game at pace. The forwards are just walking into that line out, and maybe defense is settled by now. So it's going to be very interesting to see. There you go, the replacement has been made. Jason Melda walks out, as I said, and coach Sanat Martis had had enough. Rodrigo comes in place of Jason Melda. Advantage once again for Navy Sports Club. This time it will be another penalty for them.
Difficult to see from our angle what went on there, but everyone in the stand who was sitting over there, they certainly saw what was going on, or they didn't mind telling the referee either. So you see the distinctive red shirt, the Navy coach sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he always wears red, isn't he? Coach Motilal Jayatilaka, Dev Anand, also very experienced player coming from Kingswood, both of them.
There's a lot of superstition in rugby, isn't there? Beautiful kick. And some players, they've got to wear the same socks, same underpants. I had a friend that he played for Canterbury NPC team, and he had to eat a packet of chocolate chip biscuits before every game. It's national prudential and everything.
Follow, interact and engage on our social media platform on ThePapare.com, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Google+. So we are all on the social media platform, ThePapare.com. You can follow us. And for any sporting updates, here's Lasindu Karunatilaka right at that back of that line out. Now Havelocks need to score here if they need to get back. The ball comes out wide straight into Niroshan Fernando. Referee playing advantage. Here's Nishan to Sandun Herat. Sandun Herat trying to cut back in. Sudam Suryarachi gives it to Shanal Dilaka, to Dushmanta Priyadarshana, taking the ball into contact. Here is Sharu Fernando after his 10 minutes on the bench. Riza Mubarak giving it out wide. Great opportunity for Havelock Sports Club, taking the ball into contact. Is Shehan Dias. Here is Shanal Dilaka once again to the replacement, Madhushan Pereira. Lasindu to Niroshan Fernando. Hiranta Pereira. A lovely pass, but Sandun Herat not running onto that ball.
Look, from one side to the other, Havelocks are shifting the ball around. So their setup and their shape means that they can move the ball from one side of the field to the other pretty easily. But they're matched there by the Navy defence. So I'm really liking the area that Navy's targeting in the tackle. It's a low base tackle, so it's always just above the knees. They're knocking players over, and lots of tackling is right on point today by Navy.
Irshad Carter avoiding a scrum. I just thought that was perfect and flat from Hiranta. Here's Moshin Falil, very hard running centre, takes in couple of players. Ball coming back to the short side now. Supun Piris. Here is Dulanjana. Oh, lovely kick, but advantage coming for Havelocks. Adisha Veeratunga and Shehan Dias just having their own game of rugby away from where the referee had blown that whistle.
Yeah, they did have a little game of rugby. I wonder what Navy are going to do here. They could have a shot at goal, and they do. So it does a couple of things having a shot at goal here. It eats into time. And so what I think, if I was the coach for Navy, I'd say, okay, boys, every opportunity now, let's slow down the game. Let's really, really slow down everything we do until it becomes annoying for Havelock Sports Club, where they're concentrating on the speed of the game instead of concentrating on what their tasks are. At the moment, Havelocks are trying. They're shifting the ball from one side to the other. It's a really battle of wills. I feel like the game's right in the balance at the moment.
Yeah, if Havelock score next, it'll be very interesting. But if Tilna Veerasinghe slots this in between the posts, which he did on the other side of the park, or just put it off the right post, he had the distance. The direction is very important and very key here. But if he can slot this in between the posts, it'll make Havelocks think that they're a bit too far off this game. That this time he doesn't have the distance, doesn't have the direction, bounces off into touch. There'll be a 22-meter dropout for Navy, for Havelocks, which Havelocks will feel a bit better with that kick not going over, and the next thing they have to do is score.
Well, yeah, that's right. The next thing they do have to do is score. They're, what are they? They're 15 points behind. So they put the ball into the Navy half.
Taking the ball into contact is Adisha Veeratunga now. Here is Mohammad Absal. Good hit on Kasun De Silva. Absal once again swinging this ball out wide to a lovely offload there by Janit Laksara, and stepping inside is Lahiru Herat. Here is Absal once again. That's a long pass. Good collection by Kasun De Silva. Through a pass. It's a knock forward. He's off the feet there. Referee releasing it. Now with the advantage being played.
So they get the advantage for a penalty advantage. Or is it a knock forward? It might be a knock forward advantage, so they'll have a scrum. So you have a free opportunity there to have a go, and the halfback just kicks the ball away. I just don't think that's such a high percentage play, because you've got a free shot at what you're going to do. So why not just keep doing what you're doing and see if you can get another big break going.
Replacements coming on. Dulaj Pereira comes in place of Niroshan Fernando. Always a smile on his face, isn't it? Dulaj Pereira enjoys the beat of the ThePapare band at the back. You won't see him on the screen. Comes up very fast on the line. Now he needs to set an example to his backs. Needs to work very close with Iranta Pereira as Navy now secured this ball. No offside line there for Havelocks. A penalty once again coming off the side. Shayan Dias, and once again they will go for points.
The wind looks like it's picked up and it's going from right to left, a little bit of touch. The last kick though, it really stopped. It was like there was no one here and he's here alone kicking. But that was a simple error, a really, really silly mistake. The rucker was formed, it was well formed. Dias couldn't help himself. Number 7 sees the ball on the ground, he has to pick it up regardless. So here we see, as I was saying, there'll be a slowing of the game by Navy. Here we're just seeing another player just taking a little bit of time off the clock, although the clock stopped here, but no, they just slow the game and just handle the tempo.
Buddhima Priyaratna. Mark called by Sudam Suryarachi. Ball not going out. Taken quickly. Now they will run this deep. Yes, Dulaj Pereira, who is fresh on the park, gives it to Hiranta Pereira, who takes the ball into contact. He's isolated there this time. Madhushanka Pereira. Referee playing advantage for Havelocks. And Irshad Carter needs to look at, there's a player down, that's Lahiru Vishwadit, the prop forward for Navy Sports Club. He's down on the ground. Player safety comes first, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, that's right, and there you have him on screen. And those guys there have been attending to him the whole time while the game's been going on, and there's a yellow card for someone.
I think it's for the skipper. Danushka Pereira has been yellow carded. This is a great opportunity for her Havelocks.
Yeah, look, if Navy made the substitution for the man who's coming off, not sure how the referee can continue to play while they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attendants on the field. And he let that penalty be taken. Imagine if it didn't go out, they played on. When's he going to stop it?
And I hope he's been strapped properly. His neck is still heading upwards. Player safety comes first regardless of whatever happens on the field. And this is not the way it should happen, unfortunately. We are set for another line out here. The play has been still carried out on the field. Dias tapping it back for Havelocks. Here's Dixon. under a lot of pressure, Kevin Dixon. And he's managed to take the ball into contact. It's a head shot. Very dangerous. Dulaj trying to step and run. Gives it off to Hiranta Pereira. Good pass. Needs to give this offload. Does very well. In the meantime, Chamara Dabre has come in place of Sandun Herup.
Nothing like a couple of penalties to give you a little bit of momentum. A little bit of ill discipline there from Navy, and they won't want to. They'll need to wrestle this momentum back as Reza puts the ball into maybe 30 metres out, 32 metres out or so from the try line. Havelocks are really starting to press now. Dulaj Palermo, you can see him, he's eager for the ball, standing pretty deep.
Yeah, Niroshan was standing very flat and he couldn't get that pass away to his centres, hard running centres into the line. And they dropped the ball off that line out once again. Don't know if it was intentionally hit down by the Navy player. Now the ball comes out to Dushmanta Priyadarshana. And Navy have managed to turn over this ball through Buddhima Priyaratna, kick behind. Kevin Dixon chasing it. Priyaratna right in front of him, steps off one. Kevin Dixon offloading it straight to the referee, Irshad Kada. He didn't blow, he didn't stop play, Irshad Kada. Here's Nishan Pereira now, offloading it to Chamara Dabare. Taking the ball into contact, Dabare. Here's Suryarachi trying to make some space on the short side. Priyadarshana taking the ball into contact. Here's Suryarachi to Dulaj. Trying to go himself. Dulaj Pereira trying to offload in that tackle. Driving forward, brought to ground eventually. Navy have managed to turn over this ball to Tilna Veerasinghe. Veerasinghe put in the kick behind. Here's another opportunity for Havelocks. Kevin Dixon slips and he knocks the ball forward. Very unfortunate for him, Dixon, and Buddhima Priyaratna will kick this ball into touch and would like to settle for a scrum.
Well, that was a long piece of play there as we see the switching sign come up on our screen. Sri Lanka's first basketball talk show, swishing the nets. So generally what happens when the ball hits the referee is that the whistle goes, the team in possession, they get a scrum. We just saw that happen there and not sure why we played on.
Not sure exactly why that was played on. It should have been Havelock's ball scrum. And very unfortunate there for Kevin Dixon. He had all the space in the world there. He just slipped. And this ground condition, though, it's very hard. It's penalty for Havelocks, or Navy Sports Club rather. Looks like he's going back to Sharu Fernando. If he gets another yellow here, it'll be a red for him.
So the commentary box is, there's a few discussions going on with the hand signals from the referee. What a fantastic kick. We're not quite sure what that was for, but Navy came out on top and now they're within the 22. They've almost used up 20 minutes of the second half. 20 minutes left for Havelock Sports Club to come back. 15-point deficit. They have to score 3 times.
.60 minutes on the clock. No change to the half-time score as Dulanjana Vijayasinghe throw this to the front of the line out this time, as both centres once again they work very close to that line out this time. Pushed back by Havelocks. Good defense there by Chanel Dilaka and Sharu Fernando, and referee playing advantage for coming on the side. There Lasindu Karuna Tilaka. Tilna Veerasinghe is looking for a drop goal. Gets good connection and it's through. What a kick.
What a cracker. What a cracking kick. I wonder what they're going to do, because they've got an opportunity here, because they've got an advantage. A penalty advantage, so they throw it straight back to him and say, have a crack now, and you can, if you miss, have another go in a second. But he didn't miss, he went straight for it. It's Reza Mubarak. He's looking to take it quickly. They're now 18 points behind Havelock Sports Club, and so they're wanting to get on with the game.
Reza Mubarak. Once again, another knock forward by Havelocks.
Yeah, the urgency just seems to be spilling over into handling errors at the moment for Havelocks, for Havies, and we can see the eagerness of the backs. They're waving players forward. This will be all about game management here for the leaders in the Navy Sports Club rugby team. They need to manage the game. 25 points to 7. There's 18 and a half minutes left to go.
Breaking off the back is Janit Laksara, and another knock forward. So now the handling errors creep in slowly to the game. The fatigue is setting in. 60 minutes on the clock. This is where Havelocks need to pounce, and this is where CR and FC pounced on last week of Navy.
Yeah, that's right. And, well, that play there, that wasn't fatigue, I didn't think. He just went 1 metre too far. Once a number 8's job is just to get around and draw the first defender, and then he can pass to the halfback or the fullback. He went around 2 players and tried to take 3 players. A little bit greedy there, I thought.
Hiranta Pereira taken out, and in comes Vimukti Rahula. Here is Tulaj Pereira once again trying to get into that line. Second time he has taken the ball into contact. Here's Sharu Fernando. Runs in a good, nice angle there, Sharu Fernando. Going short side. Shehan Diaz taking the ball into contact. Needs quick ball. Sharu Fernando screaming for that ball on the outside. This was a bit too late. Sharu once again taking the ball into contact for Havelocks. Sudham Surya, that's not rolling away there. Clearly that player on the ground just put his hands up. That's a penalty.
So this is good management again by Navy, just slowing the game down, taking a couple of minutes off the clock. Looked like that Navy player wasn't rolling away, but the ball must have been available for the 9, so he'd rolled away enough. Very casual, isn't he?
Buddhima Priyaratna.
Wonder how casual the coach will be about having a chat about that kick after the game.
Yeah, that won't be very pleasant. Danushka Pereira coming in after his 10 minutes on the sin bin. He'll be back in the next play. The skipper is back. So opportunity they had on the weight side of or the numerical advantage. That's a penalty.
Well, in the Lions game against New Zealand, that was called a scrum.
Okay, so.
And it's called a scrum here. I know Scotland had a game against Australia in a certain World Cup, and the ball went forward like that, and that was called a penalty. So,
which they, I think that's what took Australia to the semis or quarters. Semis.
That's right. And a big hello to all the Scots fans out there.
Rivalry begins in Colombo. About 4 to 5 hours away from kickoff at Murray Field in Scotland. That's coming up late in the night as Havelocks have taken this ball over. Here is Dulaj spinning it out wide to Nishon Pereira. He has Dabur on the outside, tries to cut back in, take the ball into contact inside the 22. Need quick ball out, recycled to Sharo Fernando, who runs this at pace, but a very good tackle there by the Navy defender. Sudam Suryarachi once again. This is Kevin Dixon trying to step and run through Dixon. Steps off one, steps off two, twists and turns and takes the ball into contact. Here's Sudam Suryarachi once again to Karunatilaka. Chamara Dabare has Pereira on the outside, but goes himself. Havelock's taking the ball into contact once again through Rodrigo. Suryarachi once again to Sharo Fernando, offloading it this time.
They've got big numbers out wide on the left. If they can get it there, it looks like it's 4 on 1. Ball comes back inside. Looked like it might have been a little man in front. Ooh. Thought the ball might have gone forward, but they had numbers on that far side. They just needed hands. They would have outflanked the Navy defence. The Navy defence had a good spread actually there. They defended for a few rucks, maybe 10 rucks, I think.
Yeah. And that, I think the defence have won this game for them. They managed to hold on Havelock so long in that, even in that initial period where Havelock scored. And they managed to keep Havelocks at bay even in the second half so far. In the meantime, scoring points on the other side. But the defense and the way they turn that into the form of attack has been brilliant so far for Navy as they get this line on. Dulanjana Vijaysinha just straight into number 4. Oh, that was big contact. Straight onto the knee of Buddhima Priyaratna. Runs in straight at Shenal Deelaka's knee. And here is Vimukti Rahula now. Looking for options, trying to step and run through. Has a lot of pace, this boy, Rahula. Lovely catch and pass to Nishan Pereira. Pereira trying to step back in. Ravin De Silva making the tackle. Oh, that was very unfortunate. Coming into support in the contact there. Vimukti Rahula just kicking that ball into touch. 67 minutes on the clock, 13 minutes to go. Tough ask for Havelock Sports Club. They're doing everything possible.
Yeah, look, they're not going to die wondering, are they, Havelocks? They're throwing the kitchen sink at it at the moment. I'd like to see Navy exit a little bit cleaner. They seem to take it into 1 or 2 rucks, and then the kicker's not setting properly, so they're putting pressure on themselves, and that's why the kick didn't go out that last time. And any opportunity Havelock Sports Club are going to get, they're just going to run everything back. So if I was Navy, I'd be looking to kick the ball right into the stands. Don't let them counter-attack. Anything that goes anywhere near Kevin Dixon is alarm bells for Navy, because he's so fleet-footed and quick at the moment.
Yeah, I think they need to get the ball to him at the correct time, at the correct space. With 2 players on the outside, he's deadly. He can make and create anything that he wants. Kevin Dixon reads play very well. Play stopped once again. Looks like a head injury. I think it's Ravin De Silva who is out, as well as another player on the far side. So 2 Navy players on the floor.
And out comes the stretcher. It's not looking good for... Difficult to see the number while he's lying on his back. Ravin De Silva there, struggling to get back on the field. Can't quite break the tackle of the medical assistant. Trying to tell the doctor, no, I was faking it. I'm all right. I can come back on.
But he's not. He's clearly not.
No, he's looked very sleepy there.
Former Josephian played for Kandy Sports Club. Replacement coming in for Navy Sports Club in place of Ravin De Silva.
Five-man line out.
Taken inside the own 22. Here's the Fresh leg on the player, the new ball carrier, Gavin Pereira, taking that ball into contact. Maduranga slowing this ball down, gives it outside and stays in play. Chamara Dabare swings it out wide to Riza Mubarak. Has Vimukti Rahul on the outside, has a lot of pace. Vimukti Rahul runs straight into Mushin Falil, who stopped him on his tracks. Here is Nishan Pereira taking the ball into contact. Fresh legs on the park for Havelocks as well. Rahul Delpachitra taking the ball into contact. Here's Dabare off to Karuna Tilaka. Offloading, lovely hands by Havelocks. That's Prasad Madhushankar taking the ball and taking Havelocks up a good 10 meters. They need to finish this clean. Here's Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Suryarachi once again to Pereira. Dulaj Pereira swinging it out wide to Kevin Dixon. Dixon stepping inside. Needs support. Pereira and Dilaka there in support for him. Suryarachi once again to Delpachitra. They get inside the 22. From there on, they make a mistake like this. Navy put a lot of pressure in defense. That's Shanal Dilak who dropped that ball. Paul, this has been the whole story so far for Havelocks. They do all the hard work, get inside the 22, and the Navy defense somehow managed to hold them back.
Yeah, that's right. Look, the Navy defence is scrambling well, but I thought their option taking there wasn't great. Dulaj Pereira, he had, I think, 3, maybe 4 players outside him. Probably hands was the move there. They had more numbers than the defence. So the attack had, I think, maybe 4 or 5 numbers, and there was only 3 defenders, and they could have manipulated them somehow, but instead passing straight to the edge means that you're just going to have 3 defenders drifting across there, and that's really where the move broke down. And I saw once the whistle blew there for that knock forward, I could see a few Havies players there down on their knees, and their body language just says maybe it might be a bridge too far today.
So another injury. That'll be very concerning for the coach. It's about 3 to 4 players for Navy have been taken out. As the scrum of Salia Handapangoda, a lot of experience there for him. Comes in as scrum for Navy Sports Club. Picked up at the back by Janit Laksara. He's Handapangoda once again looking for options. Dulanjana comes in there. He plays as scrum half as well, Dulanjana Vidasinghe. And here's Tilna Virasinghe. Bounce of a rugby ball right on top of Vimukti Rahula. Here is Kevin Dixon. This danger time for Havelocks. A lovely pass off to Nishan Pereira. Does he have the pace to go all the way? Puts the kick behind. The chase is on. Fresh leg. Handapangoda chasing that behind. And it'll drop into in goal and off into touch. So it'll be a scrum from where the kick was made.
The clearances from Navy is like watching a player continue to play poker when he keeps getting 14 cards and just keeps asking for another card. They just keep on kicking it back to them and asking them to attack. That's like 3 times in a row. Just get the ball out and go to the next set piece, Navy. The coach must be pulling his hair out.
Especially inside the 22, they just put the kick behind. You have the ball inside the 22. You have all the luxury to kick it out on the full. Tilna Virasinghe now will take the restart again, putting it deep behind, straight into Dulaj Pereira. Manages to juggle and hold on to the ball. He draws the defender and gives it out. Here is, oh, that was a big hit. Supun Dilshan on Vimukti Rahula. Here is Chamara Dabare taking the ball into contact. Sudham Suryarachi now gives it out to Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Lovely hands there off to Lasindu Karuna Tilaka. Inside or just close to the 22 they go. Here's a great opportunity for them. Kevin Dixon just needs to draw and pass out wide to Nishan Pereira. Pereira pushes off one and he tries to keep the ball in. It'll be a penalty. Yellow card for Dulanjana Vijay Singh. That's a massive... he will not take part in this game anymore. But Dulanjana Vijay Singh, he had a massive game. He did everything and he ends up with a yellow card as well, Paul.
Yeah, he looked like he might have just left his shoulder in there, that tackle, and Dixon, as he got the ball away. I don't know where he was meant to go, though. He sort of stood his ground, and it's fair enough. Looks like he's earned the rest as well. He's still barking instructions to someone. Give me a cup of tea. He's put a great shift in, actually. So, Navy, there we go again. So they're going to show a little bit more grit. There's just over 5 minutes to go on our clock. Got a good lead, 18 points. So Navy just continue to kick it into the backfield and asking Havelock's Sports Club to bring the ball back and run back and try and beat our defence.
Yeah, so after that they led them inside the 22 and then they start defending and they managed to hold on.
It's like some sort of drill, isn't it? Some training drill.
I saw them kicking a lot during warm-up, so there's no surprise. Sharu Fernando comes back again. That's interesting. I'm not sure why he was taken out. Was it? I think it was maybe for blood.
Comfort break.
There you see, number 5 on the screen. He just comes back inside. It's a great opportunity for Havelocks now to put some points on the board. They need to score thrice or more, thrice to win. It has to be all converted tries, or 2 converted tries and a try.
Well, let's see if they can get 1 to start with, and then they might be able to get another one and get within 7 points. And if they can get within 7 points, they get a bonus point for losing within 7. Yes. Yeah, they do. So that's probably what they're aiming for. But first, let's just get the line out right. Have a driving maul, get over, let's score a try, come back and see if we can do it again.
Shanal Dilaka taken out. So Sharu Fernando replaces Shanal Dilaka. Is it rolling subs? Are we playing a game of 7s? I'm not sure how that worked, but referee playing advantage for Navy, Havelocks rather here. This is a great opportunity. They're driving through. And they need to get this ball on the line. They were on top of the line, but once again, Navy, look at that. Look at that piece of defense.
Navy player was unlucky there. I thought he came through the... he might have swum up around the side. And that's why he got the penalty was given away as Havies have another go. They're 2 metres away from the line. A pick and go.
Priyadashana took that quick tap and rather it was Prasad Madhushankar. Once again held up. So the Navy defence are doing a great job here.
Madhushankar just gets so aggressive inside the 22. Anytime he gets the ball, you know, he's like a bull going for a red rag. So difficult to stop. So aggressive when he gets close to the line. He really wants to get that ball over the try line. That's why he features so often on the score sheets.
Scrum again. Paul, it's time to decide the man of the match. For Havelock Sports Club, there are a couple of players who put their hand up. It was Kevin Dixon was one. Had a good game so far. And also Sharu Fernando carried the ball on the line. Lasindu Karnatilaka was good as well. But in the meantime, for Navy, Tilnavira Singh put a lot of points. Supun Piris had a couple of breaks. As the play continues, it's a penalty for Navy. picked up right in front. Very unfortunate. Navy will slow this game down. And we also had Mushin Falil at 12, who had some hard runs, good solid in defense, not letting that Havelock's line run through him. We spoke about the center combination being very crucial. I think Falil and Herath have come on top here today against Pereira, Hiranta Pereira and Nishan Pereira. So there's a lot of contenders there.
Yeah, look, the Navy defence has been superb. Their defensive hits from the word go was right on point. There was their tackle accuracy. They weren't missing tackles. The hits were dominant, and I think if we could give it to the defensive coach, I'd give it to him. But I think one of the forwards, I thought Supun Perez, he featured a lot with the ball in hand in the first half, and his name hasn't been mentioned a lot in the second half, but he's been putting a lot of hard yards in.
Yeah, I think so. Supun Perez will be our man of the match today. From Navy Sports Club, scored a try, made a couple of breaks, worked very hard. Supun Perez, the lock forward for Navy Sports Club. I think we should give credit for people, for players who work off the ball a lot, and Supun Perez has definitely done that today, in defense, in attack. Here is Surya Arachi once again playing the full 80 for Havelocks. Dulaj Pereira giving this ball out to Vimukti Rahula. Had Dabare on the outside, deciding to cut back in and run straight. Dulaj once again trying to spot space, takes the ball to the line inside the 22. Now Sharo Fernando. Fernando steps off one, goes into contact once again. Ball comes out to Karnatilaka. Delpachitra taking the ball into contact. Referee playing advantage for Surya Arachi. Lovely short ball to Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Here is an opportunity. That's Dushmanta Priyadarshana, bigger partner. It was Prasad Madhushanka who took the ball initially. Havelocks trying to finish this game on top. Sudam Surya Arachi now has Nishan Pereira trying to step and run through his Nishan. And the ball comes out, but it was a penalty advantage coming up for Havelock Sports Club. Here is a quick tap taken there by Vimukti Rahula and pushed back once again. Referee playing advantage for Havelocks. Karuna Tilaka taking the ball into contact. Delpachitra now picking and driving himself alone. Receives support. Prasad Madhushankar now taking the ball into contact. Here is Sharo Fernando twisting, turning, getting close to the try line. Dushmanta Priyadarshana now taking the ball into contact. Trying to pick and drive once again. Dulaj Pereira also in there. Here is Delpachitra rolling away. This is Dulaj Pereira. Long pass to Chamara Dabare. Dabare had to give that ball out to the outside. This is Kevin Dixon. And Kevin Dixon will score the last try of the game.
Well, that was a fierce attack and fierce defence there. I saw our man of the match, Supun Perez, make about 4 head-on tackles there right on the line. But Kevin Dixon there got over the line on the outside. They had numbers about 3 times on that far side, did Havies, but finally they got it out to their speedy winger. Still had a lot of work to do. Havies trying to run back. It looks like it might be near full time. So we see Riza Mubarak just waiting for the ball, or is he waiting? He's waiting patiently. The player was at the coalface for Navy, making tackle after tackle. Not sure who it was. I saw him make a tackle, and as he fell backwards, his head just whiplashed back, and I think that's when the injury occurred. So he's lying prone and probably got concussion. you get to have a look at it on the replay, viewers, you'll see that. We come across Riza Mubarak and to get a consolation 2 points for Havies. Wide out on the far side of the field. It's a beautiful kick. Even though there was disrespect down below the commentary box, cheering as he was kicking, bit of disrespect there for the kicker. That's the end of the game. And Navy come away victors. 22 points to 14.
22 points to 14. That's how 25 points to 14. Till Navira Singh's drop goal there, taking them to 25. But it's really a disappointed evening for Havelocks. They had a lot of hope in this league this year, but Navy have spoiled the party. We spoke of this, how Navy will come back strong after that second half performance last week against CR at Racecourt. They have come back strong, but the worrying side of that is they have lost the second half once again, 5 points to 3. Doesn't matter, 24 points or rather 7 points to 3. The second half they have got. Matter they held on to that last minute in the second half. 25 points to 14. That's how this finished for Navy Sports Club. But they'll be very disappointed going into this into the next round.
They will be disappointed. Look, everyone who I spoke to during the week said that Havies are probably going to get up over Navy, especially after last week's performance. But in front of their home crowd, Navy came, and in the second half they really grew a backbone and they defended like their lives depended on it. They lost players to the bin and they kept on defending. They scored points when they lost players to the bin, and they just kept on coming and coming. The defence, even right to the last minute, was tenacious by Navy. We saw Supum Peres there. He was right in the middle of it. In that last stanza, he made 5 tackles, as we see the statistics come up of the game.
Yeah, 3 tries for Navy, 2 for Havelock's, conversions 2 on 2. So Riza Mubarak getting his 2. Penalties 1 and a drop goal from Tilnes Veerasinghe. Very cheeky there in the second half. 22 points to 7 at half time, and they finished 25 points to 14. Supun Peres, our man of the match for today. So yeah, so Havelocks will be disappointed going into the in the next round, because now it just puts a stop on them on the championship title. CR is out, Navy is out. It's just one team that's once again is unbeaten. That's Kandy Sports Club.
Yeah, look, I think it's a little bit early to start saying anything about the season as far as who's going to be champion, because there's so many teams that are vying for supremacy here. Every game so far, like this last week, Navy versus CR. This week there was the CR game yesterday. This game is another close game. So it can go either way, and there's lots of teams there that can upset the cart. So I wouldn't be too worried about it if I was a heavy supporter. They've got a lot to work on. They need to recognise where the space is. Often the space was on the outside, and maybe the wingers and the players on the outside who are in space need to find their voice and start asking for the ball a little bit more. Navy, what they can work on is they can work on their exits. Their defence is perfect again. As we saw last year, they had a really tenacious defence as well. This year they've done that again. I thought their ball movement when they saw space, they recognised space well. They attacked those channels where the space was there. But they managed the game in the second half. They controlled the tempo of the game, and I think that's what might have won it for them.
Yeah, the defense won it for them, spot on there, Paul. And thank you very much for joining on commentary. Tomorrow we have 2 more games lined up on ThePapare.com. Kandy Sports Club taking on Army up in Kandy, their first game in Nithawala, and Air Force will host Police for their home game down in Ratmalana. ThePapare.com will bring you live that. Join us. Until then, it's good night from Dinuk Bhaskar and Paul Toy on the commentary box, along with Sabir Khan and the Papare crew from the Navy Valley Surra grounds. Good night.
Of cricket fans out there, they look at things in so much detail. They demand detail much more than we have a video analyst for us. Incredible. These guys want even more detail when it comes to reading about the game and understanding. So I think ThePapare.com provides all of that beautifully. So, you know, congratulations and well done to ThePapare.com, because for people like me and for millions of other cricket fans around the world,
සමහර විශ්ලේෂණයන් තියෙනවා ඒවා සමහර ලාවට හරියන්නත් පුළුවන් වරදින්නත් පුළුවන් කෝසල.
ක්‍රිකට් කියන්නේ අවිනිශ්චිත ක්‍රීඩාවක් ධනුෂ්කා. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද සිදුවන්නේ කියලා. ගොඩක් දේ කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් පිටියෙන් පිටත. නමුත් සියල්ල සිදුවන්නේ පිටිය තුලදී.
පිටියේ ඈත මෑත කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, පිටියේ ඇතුලේ කතා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ක්‍රිකට් විශ්ලේෂණාත්මකව ඔබට සම කරන්නට අපි සූදානම්ින් ඉන්නවා පිටියේ කතා තුලින්. රැඳෙන්න අපිත් එක්ක ThePapare.com ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ක්‍රීඩා වෙබ් අඩවිය සමග.